thanks for the meal we are about to share. Wherever you are, if you will simply be still, bow your head or lower your eyes for the sake of turning toward a place of gratitude within. I speak my word of gratitude that God is all in all. In this moment, we know the givingness of God as this beautiful meal that we are about to share for the nourishment of our blessing. The breaking bread that we are about to receive, we give thanks for the very earth and all the elements that made it possible. We are grateful for the hands and the intentions that have laid this before us, and we bless the celebration that it holds. We let it be, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you. Later on, and so to all charter members, we say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Celebration Center has been an enduring presence in Falls Church for 30 years. Arising from this community, other Science of Mind groups have formed throughout the D.C. area and continue to thrive easily. If you are leading one of these local groups, would you now please stand? Connie Chandler leads a study group in Sterling, Virginia. Reverend Faith Woods, Stafford, is a senior minister. Reverend Alex Escudero is the senior minister of the Center for Spiritual Living, D.C. Also, Bruce Form or Reverend Sunday Cote, the senior minister in Leesburg. And Reverend Trish Hall, who is the senior minister of Celebration Center Metro. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, look here. Look here. Over here. Yeah, over here. Over here. Over here. Yeah, over here today. Over there.
The paparazzi are beckoning.
I thought it was today.
It's the sparkle.
Thank you. That was exciting. So besides cake, there's also some chocolate cake. There's some cookies that you've enjoyed, and so the cake's going to be sliced and served. And if you'd like other dessert, you're welcome to come up and grab some. Thank you. Ira's still the second piece to Duke, as is appropriate. Ira's still tending bar back there, so I know he'd love some company.
Okay. Come for the cake.
There's some beverages. There's tea and coffee in the back. Please feel free to help yourself too.
Trying to get pictures from Brenda, we could show them between the service and that'd be cool if we could do it.
going to have some good ones.
It's just,
Wherever we go, we're always looking for the Science of Mind Center. And, well, there was a need, so Suzanne had been connected to Reverends Rita and Reverend Noel, and she kind of brought me along, and this whole thing is the result of a mailing. It's that simple. Noel called headquarters, got the Science of Mind mailing list. We put out a flyer. We said, you know, we're starting a Science of Mind Center. We're having a meeting at this location. Please be there. 50 people showed up.
wow.
Oh, no.
Off a mailing. So, of course, we're off and running. Started meeting in a garden in Georgetown. Found office space in Arlington. 3 different hotels. And then we sort of started looking for a place, and one of our members found this place. Duke noted as soon as he saw it, this building was actually going to be a bank. But Duke noted as soon as he saw it, he said, no, it's a church, it's got crosses in the windows. And we've been going strong ever since, and I find it hard to believe.
30 years.
Our baby is 30. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We almost have Reverend Noel here tonight.
Thank you.
I've been communicating with him, and we had taken up a collection to pay for his airfare back here, and we had enough to pay for it. But at the last minute, he had a housing crisis come up. And about a week ago, he informed me that he suddenly had to find a new place to live and move into it within 3 weeks, and he was not going to be able to come. So that's the reason he's not here, but he really was looking forward to being here. So I just want to celebrate his almost presence with reading to you something that is one of my favorite poems of all time. And he wrote it. So I'll just share it with you. It's short. It's called Flow. And this is by Noel McGinnis. Be as water is, without friction. Flow around the edges of those within your path. Surround within your ever-moving depths those who come to rest there. Enfold them, while never for a moment holding on. Accept whatever distance others are moved within your flow. Be with them gently, as far as they allow your strength to take them. And fill with your own being the remaining space when they are left behind. When dropping down life's rapids, froth and bubble into fragments, if you must, knowing that the one of you, now many, will just as many times be one again. And when you've gone as far as you can go, quietly await your next beginning. By Noel McGinnis.
Joyce Lindahl is a charter member who's here with us tonight. Joyce, would you like to say a few words?
I think I'm number 47 of the original 50 members. I'll have to check the list there sometime. I showed up in 1985, and I heard the whole service and the music, and after the service was over, I talked with Noel and I said, I really like that music that you were playing. Is it possible I could get a copy of it, one particular song? And he said, no, he said, I composed it and I play by ear, so there's no copy. A little while later, he came by and he said, would you play the keyboard for us next weekend, next Sunday? And I said, well, how do you know I know how to play the keyboard? He said, well, I had a clue when you asked for sheet music. So I was the piano or keyboard accompanist for a few years. And then it was a few years later that I showed up here, and somebody said, how come you didn't play the keyboard for us? We don't have a keyboardist anymore, a piano player. And I said, well, I couldn't, I saw the empty piano bench, but I couldn't just go over there and play, and they needed somebody. So I said, well, I'm willing to be the transition piano accompanist until you get someone. And I thought that would be for a couple of months, and it was six years. So then I moved to Virginia Beach, and it was it was just about the time that Amy showed up, just when I was leaving. So I was in Virginia Beach 13 years, but when I was visiting here, I would always come back to the center. And I know I only have a couple of minutes, so I couldn't tell you about all the blessings that I've received from being in Science of Mind and practicing the principles. But it's been a great place and a great community, and I'm glad I'm still part of it. Oh, one other thing. When I was in Virginia Beach, one time I came back and I was visiting, and by that time I met Harriet. And I was the one that actually introduced Jack Quigley to the center. I got him here as a singer. So I told her that I was the one that brought him here, and she said, well, I thank you and my baby thanks you.
Charter members Chris and David Wall had wanted to be here tonight but are unable to attend. But at this time, I'd like to invite brief comments from whatever members would like to say a few words. And I do have a microphone that can travel a little bit. So if anyone would like to come up here and say something, you're welcome. And otherwise, I can bring a microphone to you. Who wants to come up and say a few words? Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dodge Fielding, and I'm a charter member wannabe. In the sense that I actually didn't make the list. I haven't seen it, but I don't think I made it. But I've been around for a long, long time. And I actually was, I believe, the very first service I attended was the very first hotel in which Noel and Rita held the service. My distinction, I guess, in terms of chronology is that I actually beat Ed in joining this church. But the point is this, Noel McGinnis was one of the three or four multiple lifetime teachers for me. And the poem that Ed read, Flow, has been my inspiration for these many years, almost 30. And I have spread that far and wide. The joke, the true joke is that I am a regular visitor. I come at least once a year. And I am inspired by this wonderful spirit of this beautiful church and this wonderful community to come back a little bit more often. So thank you all, and I'm so happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hepworth, and I was privileged to become a member of this center in 1999. And I can remember it as clear as day the first time I came here. And I had come from a Vesta Vedanta Center in Washington. And I was so taken with the joy that was just everywhere in this center, so aptly named the Celebration Center, because it has been a celebration ever since that time for me, that I just fell in love with this congregation, with the center, with the philosophy, with all of you. And I'm just so grateful to those of you who have sustained it since I left to go with Reverend Alex and start the center in DC. And that's been a great joy as well. But my heart is always here, and I love this center and all of you. Thanks.
Bill Osborne, do you want to say anything to us?
You next.
Bill? No? Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, let me, yes.
Kate.
Kate Partain.
My name is Kate Parkin.
I want to say something about Rita. Rita was the minister of the National Science of Mind Center. Noel was her assistant, her husband and her assistant. They had gone to school together, but he put his energy into supporting her in founding the National Science of Mind Center. Just like Tim and Suzanne, I received the notice of that because I was taking the magazine at the time. And, but I had 2 children and was recently, my husband had left precipitously with me with everything else. So I didn't attend that, and I didn't attend the church until 1986. I think I went to some building in Arlington for the first service I went to. It was one Sunday morning, and I don't know where it was. I couldn't find it today. And Rita was speaking. Noel was in California for a trip. He probably was finishing up. But she, of course, is deceased and can never come back. I know at the 10-year anniversary she was present. But I just wanted to bring her up because somehow she's still not, she's not present, she's not able to speak for herself. So that people know that Rita was a main part of this church at the outset. Thank you.
Connie, anything?
Sure, I'll say. Yeah, I can always be called on. I came right after Noel and Rita left. So I was in the hiatus period, and I came in December of '92. I came, and that weekend I met Duke and Ed and Diane and Ingy, and on Sunday morning. On Friday night I met my friend Vesta Moe, who actually picked us up at the airport. She worked with my husband here, and she always took great pride in the fact that she knew me longer than all of the people here. But I met Kate Hannigan that weekend too. And I just want to talk about Kate for a minute because Kate was a really big part of this center for a long time. And when Kate was the president of the board, they had a Queen for the Day celebration for her. That was one of the best parties I ever attended, and boy did Kate love being Queen. That was awesome. Kate was just one of the best friends anybody ever had, and she never lost a friend. She had friends when she made her transition a few years ago. She had friends from when she was in preschool before she went to kindergarten that actually came to the service that we had for her. It was just stunning. But what Kate's message, and I'll speak for Kate, what Kate was known for is people are for loving, not for comparing. And that is such a powerful, profound message of non-judgment and love. So one of the many blessings I had in being here, and although most of you who are new don't know me, I'm here every Monday for Ministry of Prayer. I've been here every week for the last 20 years for that event. So I pray for your community every week. And I love this center. It's a very powerful part of my life and continues to be. I have my own little group for the last 15 years in Sterling, and that's been wonderful. But I'm still glad that I have a foot here on Mondays, and I'm here at the third Sunday Evensong service, because Reverend Hillary and I started the Evensong services here when Reverend Hillary was here, and it's a blessing for me to continue to do that work. So thanks for having me tonight.
And Connie, you reminded me that you being part of the Ministry of Prayer, in my time as president of the Leadership Council, I have had the opportunity to meet some other leaders in this movement, and there's a minister who came and visited us last year, Reverend Denise Schubert in North Carolina. We could count her and her community as one who prays for us. And recently we all went through the co-creation process, and we definitely are receiving lots of prayers and treatments from Reverend Karen Kushner and her community in Princeton, New Jersey. And, I just know that there are other communities that are praying for us just as we pray for them. It's powerful, powerful stuff that we do here. I'd like to just say a very brief word for those of you that aren't attending regularly. We are currently in the fabulous process of ministerial manifestation. And so you should know that there's a team that has been appointed that's being ably led by Karen Ward, who's one of our practitioners, but not the Karen that won the raffle prize, the other Karen. There's still raffle prizes, so you may still be a winner. But Karen and a team are working on the process that it takes to call our next senior minister. This is happening right now. We don't know how long it takes. Spirit knows. We don't. And that's okay. We have such a wonderful thing that's happening here right now. I wish all of you could be here every Sunday, but we know that there's lots of places for you to be. We have someone else who wants to say a few words. Is that right? Come on up, Steve.
Many of you don't know me. My name is Steve Lesky. I've been a member, I was a member of since 1988. I actually came to a couple of the Sunday services and started the classes on a dare. Actually, it was a bet, and I lost. And became fully enveloped, if you will, charmed by Noel McGinnis and the classes. And he was saying a lot of things that seemed heretical to me at the time. And then after just a few pages of reading the book and a couple of classes, I realized I already know this stuff. I just have to learn how to use it. And Noel, as Dodge said, is the icon, the teacher supreme. Those of you that do know me, I'm sure are going through your minds the period that we went through, and many of you may not know, but there was a small exodus occurred around 1990, and several of us, well, let me put it in a positive way. Noel and Rita ran the church. The board worked for them, and they selected the board, and they selected who got to leave the board, and so on and so forth. And a few of us said, well, it's not really according to the bylaws. Didn't change the ecclesiastical aspect, which we fully embraced. And so we went off and we created a church called AIRS, Arlington Independent Religious Science, in 1980. And we went without a minister, and we did it for about 7 years, and then people said, oh, we really need a larger community, and we like what's going on and what they've done with what then became the CCRS. And so the family kind of, as a lot of families do, split up, and then came back, and the programmatic person of myself, they were having financial problems, which not unusual for a church, and so they made me the treasurer, and I brought in an accountant and a bookkeeper and so forth. They used to do the books once a year on a Sunday afternoon. And so
On the back of the napkin.
well, actually, they had a large table, and they had all the papers were there, and 2 or 3 people would get around, and they'd figure out what they could, and off they'd go. So we kind of.
Pizza?
Pardon me?
Did it involve pizza? Everything with no involved pizza?
That's right. Yeah, involved pizza. Yeah. So we did that for a while, or they did, and then we got it more on a. Didn't necessarily create a lot more wealth at the time, but at least we knew how unwealthy we were. And so it's heartening to me when I read a little bit about what the organization, and you guys have everything pretty well regimented and so forth, and so that sounds. But when you talk about Noel and you talk about Rita and so forth, it makes a lot of our hearts ping a little bit, and it's very heartening to me to see this group and devoted people that you have. And I'm happy to be a tangent part anyway. I may join Dodge next time he comes.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey!
Give me the mic, that thing back there.
Reverend Faith, just pass out the verse to the song. We'll sing this chorus for you, so you can really some time. Ready? Here we go. How do I know our center is blessed? All these fine people keep giving their best. Practitioners and small groups galore. We're celebrating 30 years, now let's go for 10 more.
In 1985, we were at NSOM. We met at the Marriott, and the room was a gem. We moved to Falls Church and changed our name, but walking with Spirit is always our aim.
How do I know our center is blessed? All these fine people keep giving their best. 19 practitioners at small groups galore. We're celebrating 30 years, now let's go for 10 more.
Wonderful. 5 ministers have led us, each one with a flair, taught us to treat with affirmative prayer. Amy's music lifts us. We admire the choir. In all things we lift our thoughts higher and higher.
Terry's metaphysical plays always shine. Tank and Titanic and Science of Mind.
We keep finding ways to teach and regale. We even got sukkah and English yard sale. How do I know our center is blessed? All these fine people who give their best. 19 practitioners and small groups galore. We're celebrating the years for 10 more. When we were younger, our best shoes were red. Noel kicked his heels clear over his head. Then Sunday graced us with her shoes that were blue. But still she could dance the whole evening through.
Now we are older, our shoes are turned gray. What's our new dance step? Will we find our way? Where is the minister? Even Duke is perplexed. And let's all stick around to see what happens next.
We'll all stick around to see what happens next. Oh, how do I know our center is blessed? All these fine people giving their best. 19 practitioners and small groups of Lord. Celebrating the years, let's go for 10 more.
Big round of applause. We are family. We are family. And at this time, I think Ed is going to lead us in a benediction, but do you want to do the word before or after? Yes, so
We'll do the
Ed.
benediction first.
Okay, all right, Ed.
Okay, let's just become quiet for a moment. Feel the wonderful energy in this circle of hands and hearts and minds and souls. It is the wonderful energy of family, the wonderful energy of home, the wonderful energy of being one truly in spirit. And so I know that everyone here has that wonderful power to go with the flow in their life, to froth and bubble when we must, and yet to always be one again, both in our individual and private lives and in our family life right here in the center. And so for that wonderful knowledge, we are wonderfully grateful. And I simply say, thank you, God, for the beauty of this evening, the touching memories, the wonderful connections, and the power of all of our words that we have shared about the center. For that, we are ever grateful. And so we simply release and let go as we release these words into the law of life, the law of love, the law that takes us on for another 10 years here at the center.
At least, more than that.
And so we just say, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. I'd like to just pause for a minute or a few seconds and think of that word.
Sure.
And then when I say go, just everybody start speaking your word.
No.
Let's start somewhere.
Oh, we're doing it individually. All right, I'll start. And we'll just go around. Everybody can say one word. Okay. We'll just pause for a moment, pick your word. And I'll start. Home.
Joy.
Joyous love.
Enlightenment.
Enthusiasm.
Source.
Friends.
Gratitude.
Wonder. Blessings.
Creativity.
Gratefulness. One. Peace. Aliveness. Love. Gratitude.
Peace.
Blessings. Gratitude. Friendship.
Love.
Joy.
Serenity.
Community.
Youth. Connection.
Fun.
Power. Dependability.
Belonging.
Spirit,
Community.
Believe.
Deep.
surrender.
Amen.
Before you walk out, everybody just hug at least two people. And then we've all got to clean up. So please take all your paper trash or put it in the trash cans